right wing. It tends to be a fairly right wing community. And I don't have a lot in common with them, except of course with the professors who homebrew, and there are more in other departments. The chair of political science also brews beer, and former chair of languages. So I don't know if it's a department chair thing, but and our former chair, John Smale, he's also done home brewing. So it's a particular kind of person, I think, who home brews. They tend to live more in the university area or in Noda or Plaza Midwood.
Mm-hmm.
And in South Charlotte there are fewer, even though my neighbor also home brews.
So actually, kind of a follow-up to that, you say you're from South Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen, like, craft beer affecting the community, say, like, Noda and South End, like, in a positive way or in more of, like, a negative way? Because when these bigger breweries move in, sometimes, like in Asheville, for instance, like, it can drive up rent and make the community more exclusive. That was relatively more, you know, affordable before.
Well, so now you're actually talking about something else, which is the small craft breweries that Charlotte has. That doesn't really have anything to do with home brewing, but it's true that Charlotte's been seeing an explosion of small breweries, and probably the greatest beer on this planet is Noda's Hop, Drop and Roll, which is actually one reason why I don't homebrew more than I do, because I can't make beer that good. And I can just go over there and fill a growler or drink a pint, and so that's made it less interesting for me. Next to my karate school in South End, there's Sycamore and there's Liberty, so there are probably 20 or some breweries now in Charlotte. Do they drive up the price? I don't think so. I think they follow the gentrification of the area. They don't gentrify the area by themselves, but they only move in when they think that white people are going to feel safe parking their SUVs and walking in there and having a couple of pints. The area where a karate school is a good case in point. I mean, in South End, right next to Sycamore Brewery, there used to be just a lot of warehouses before the light rail came, and it was kind of an iffy area. It was all right, but then the light rail came, and the light rail was what gentrified the neighborhood. And they first set up apartment complexes, and only then, when they had a few $500,000, $1 million condos, did the craft brew people move in and set up actually 2 breweries within a block.
Okay, and also in general, just kind of some follow-up stuff, like your general opinion of the craft beer scene in Charlotte in particular. Do you think it's kind of coming to a head, or do you think it's going to be something that we're going to see grow in the future?
Oh, I think it's growing very fast. I mean, there's always inevitably going to be some concentration, and Asheville sees that. Even though in Asheville there's still growth of the small breweries, yes, it's going to be tougher for them with Sierra Nevada there and Oscar Blues. Some of these big craft breweries. But then again, you know, they had the Highland Brewery there for many years as the only one, and they failed to keep out competitors, even though they've gotten pretty big. I mean, you can get Highland Gaelic all over the country. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually optimistic about the craft brew scene in Charlotte, because it's still a growing city, and where there's still, I think, a lot of market share. I mean, I would be nervous if I were one of the big beer brewers making crappy beer, because I think Budweiser and all these guys, and Miller, they're just going to sell less and less.
Alrighty.